Hey, what's up, guys? It's Lest here again. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Here at it with another video, and I'm gonna start it off like this with another story. And I need, you know what? I need to get me a mic. That's what I'm gonna get me. I'm gonna get myself a mic, little mic, so I could. I want to start off with the story. It's a story about when I used to be in those the raves. So um I used to rave it a lot. Not that much actually. It was only last year. But the last two raves that I went to, I went them solo, and I just wanted to see how that felt. The last one I went to, the one before the last one, I was drinking all that, but this last one, I was only smoking. And I remember that it was Skyline. Skyline was my last one. It was the last one that I just after that I was just like, you know what? I'm done. Like, this is just not for me. Like, I tried it. It was cool. I liked it. I enjoyed it. But it's not something that I'm always willing to do. And I'm glad that I realized that because, man, I don't know what for a lot of people that do that, you guys, I have nothing against it. You guys enjoy, you guys love that. That's fine. But I didn't see myself doing that all the time. And like, I'm gonna start off with this story with it's a cool story. And like um so that day I went solo alone by myself. I'm just like, you know what, I have a ticket, let's go. Boom. And I ended up going, and I still smoked at that time, so I took a whole ounce of marijuana because that's all I did, you know. I went and I took an ounce of marijuana and like four joints. That's it. And all I remember is I got there. I was super early. I got there. I only went the one day, so I got there as soon as it opened. So it was dead. I remember it was a hot day, so I was indoors. I was in the indoor. Anyways, I met some cool people. Some people I met some also. I also met other people that were in there solo. So that was cool, you know. I see people that were in there solo. They were raving, and they were in there enjoying the music. And then, um, the day goes and the day's going by, and I start getting high, and I'm just enjoying it. But I'm just not enjoying it as much because I guess when I got high, I wasn't like, um, at these times I was getting high, and I was just doing it just because I had nothing else to do. I don't know why, because every time I got high, I was like, why am I doing this? Like, I wanted to get high, and I'm like, yeah, yeah, get high. And then I would get high, and then I'll tell myself in my head, like, you dumbass, why'd you get high? Why'd you do that? You know it wasn't good for you, you know? And I feel like that was the enemy, or like, that, just that, the enemy getting in my head, like at first telling me, yeah, yeah, do it. And then when I did it, like, you idiot, like, why'd you do it? You knew better, and all this and that. Anyways, long story short, I had a whole ounce, and that whole day, I have four joints. I'm going through it, you know. I'm just drinking water, and there you're drinking liquid death or something like that because there's no water. So like I just bought water. I kept spending money on water, and as a matter of fact, I didn't even have to spend money because the people I would meet in there, they'd be, "Hey, bro, I got you. Don't worry, anything, whatever you want." I would always meet people in there that always got me, you know. And I was there solo, so that was cool. And I remember the day was going on, and by the ending of the day, I go to by where the restrooms were at. And at this point, I kept asking them at every stage for like 2 hours. I kept asking people like, "Hey," I ran out of my joints, so I kept asking people like, "Hey, um, I just kept asking them like, hey, you have any joint wraps, any joint wraps, any blunt wraps?" I kept asking everyone. Those were the times that God probably already wanted me like, that's it, bro. Like, no, I don't want you to do none of that. And I kept asking everyone like, hey, bro, you have some joint wraps? No one, nobody. Until I was about to give up. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the restroom. I'm gonna try two more people, And after I try those two people, if I don't find them, they're there. That's it. You know, I'm gonna just enjoy the music, and I was just high. Not really. I was enjoying the music though. I was actually enjoying it. It was a good vibe. I was solo enjoying it. It was cool. Everyone was cool. The vibe was cool. And then I go to the restrooms, and as I'm getting through the restrooms, out of the restroom, straight ahead, there was this guy. He was sitting down. Um, he was rolling up some. He was stuffing some joints, and I'm like, you know what? Like, let me ask this guy. He might have some extra joints. So, you know me, I go up to him, and I'm like, hey, bro, you would you happen to have some extra joints, bro? I'm like, I'm not gonna be honest with you. I only brought like four joints, and I smoked them already. He's like, you know what? You're just in luck. I actually do. And then he gives me two of them. And he's like, bro, they're my last two. And I'm like, hey, that's right, bro. I'm like, I appreciate you, my boy. I'm like, he's like, yeah, bro, you're lucky. It's my last two, bro. You know? And I'm like, nice. You know, I'm over here like thinking, heck yeah. So then I'm like, is it cool if I sit down right here, bro? And I roll my joints? He's like, yeah, bro, go ahead. So I sit down. I start stuffing my joints. You know, I have a whole ounce of weed, and I start rolling. He's like, yo, what the? He's like, yo, you brought that in here? I was like, yeah, bro, I brought this. Like, they didn't tell you nothing. I was like, I low-key had it stashed good. And they didn't really check me. They didn't really pat me down. And then he's like, oh, okay. He's like, what? I mean, like, I was early. I got here early, so they didn't really, like, trip you like that. He's like, oh, dang, okay. So I just keep rolling my joints, bro. And I told him, you want some weed, you know? And he's like, nah, bro, I'm already good, you know? I appreciate that, though. And I'm rolling my joints. I'm rolling my joints. And his friend comes. He's like, all right, yo, I guess he was waiting for his friend the whole time. I don't know where he's at, in the restroom or something. And then he comes back. And as soon as he comes back, he's like, hey, yo, I'm ready to go. It's like, um, and we're just chopping it up. I'm like, hey, what's up, bro? Nice to meet you. You know, he's like, oh, we're just chopping it up and all that. And then at this point, I'm like, hey, bro, you want to match a joint? You want to smoke a joint since you got me? He's like, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. And when I get up, I roll my joints, I put everything away. I get up, we're just chopping it up, and he gives me his joint, I give him my joint, and then we're just chopping it up. And he's like, all right, bro, I'm about to leave. And I'm like, all right, sounds good, man. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you, and this and that. And as he was talking to his friend, he was telling him something before he left to tell me bye. I guess he was gonna tell me something. Um, I looked down to my left, and I kid you not, I see a wallet right there. A wallet, like right by it was like right by a pole, and there was a little fence right there. There was a wallet, and I'm in my head like, should I pick up that wallet? In my head, I'm like, man, I want to pick up that wallet, you know. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna do that today. I just something in my head literally told me, you know what? I'm not gonna do that today, cause in my head, I'm like, I know if I find something in there, I'm gonna want to keep it. And I don't need none of that bad vibe, or not bad vibes, but I don't need none of that. I thought it was like karma if something. So then I'm like, they're chopping it up. The guys that were chopping it up at them, I'm like, hey yo, there's a wallet right there. And as soon as I said that, I kid you not, they're like, they go towards it and they pick it up, and they pick it up, right? And they open it up, and as soon as they open it up, he's like going through it. It was some Asian guy's wallet, and he's picking it up. He's opening it up, and I kid you not, he opens it, and he brings out $500 in there. There's $500 in there, and I'm in my head like, man, that could have been my $500. So I'm like, damn, bro, what's up with it? I'm like, damn, what's up? Break me off, bro. Come on, I told you there was a wallet there, you know? And he's like, nah, bro. He's like, that's my blessing. And I'm like, in my head, I was like, damn, like that, bro. Like, come on, I told you about the wallet, you know? And he's like, and then I was like, I'm like, you know what? I literally, as soon as he said, nah, that's my blessing, I'm like, you know what, bro? You're right. That is your blessing. And I was thinking in my head that I'm like, man, he just literally helped me out giving me his last two joints, you know, even though it was little something small and something little, he gave me his last two joints, the only ones he had left, and he gave them to me. And out of that, hey, he found a wallet, and it had $500 it had $500 on it. And I'm just, the whole time I'm just thinking like, man, that could have been, man. I'm like, all right, bro. Well, as he's leaving, I'm like, all right, bro. Well, peace out, man. You enjoy that, and just be safe, you know. And as he's leaving, I'm like, hey, yo, just try to give the wallet back. Try to send the wallet, send it through Gmail to, I mean Gmail. Send it through the mail to them at least. And he's like, yeah, bro, no problem. And as he was leaving into the crowd, I was just kind of following, like, man, that could have been mine. I'm just looking at him from far, like, and he's just like, they're just like all happy and stuff, you know, with the wallet and stuff. And he's over here like dabbing his homie up, like, damn, we just found $500. And I'm just like, man, that could have been me. But then I'm like, you know what? I can't be like that, because first of all, you knew that you didn't pick it up because you knew that's not what you wanted. So I shouldn't be like that or think like that. So then I got over it real quick, you know? And I'm just like, man, like, the thing that just happened, it may be something that has nothing to do with it, but like, he literally gave me his last two joints, the last he had, and something great came out of that. And I was right at then, I had something taught me, and I was just like, man. And at that moment, um, it was gonna be that big stage. I forgot. It was like, um, I forgot who was gonna play. But man, I was just like, man, that could have been me. And I told my brother about this story, and I told a couple people, and I was like, man, bro, that day, I only had an ounce of weed and like $30, $30 in my pocket. So I'm like, this whole time I was like, man, that could have been mine. But you know, I was just grateful that I didn't pick it up, because I would have kept the money, you know. And I'm glad that I didn't do that, because I can't. That just wasn't my blessing. Just like he said, nah, bro, that's my blessing. And I was like, all right, bro, you know, in my head, like, now that I think about it, I'm like, damn, I guess that was a blessing. But then again, like, come on, you're taking someone else's money, you know. But I guess I would have done the same thing. And that was Skyline. And throughout that day, man, it was a good day that day. I ended up that day I ended up going to the afters. And besides that, it's just like, man, God is so good. He has like really like gave me the just the power to keep away from that temptation of going back to those raves. And I'm not saying there's not something, there's bad things. There's nothing wrong with music and all that. The thing is that plays on that role, you know, like all the stuff that goes around it. And I just wanted to stay away from it. um I didn't want to be around it. I try to go. I went sober for a reason, and that was the ending stages of me smoking. So I'm just happy that that happened. But those that story did stuck with me. Like, man, the $500, and then I'ma literally name this video "Not My Blessing," and that's what I'm gonna say about it. And that's where I'm gonna keep it. So God has been so good, and He just like, you know, Skyline was my last rave. I enjoyed it. I loved it. But also it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot, and just the things. But thank you guys for hearing. If you guys are sticking for this whole time for the videos to hear my story, I love you guys. For the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you guys for supporting me. And just know that one day we're gonna make it. Like, and it's all gonna be for the glory and grace of God and Jesus Christ. Well, Jesus Christ.